Hi. So, I have finished most of my TBR for this month. I have 2 more books left to read. So I figured now would be a good time to go back into the TBR jar. Now, part of me wants to choose at random. Part of me wants to choose romance, but I don't want it to get to the end and I only have like horror and nonfiction left. So I think I'm going to pick one nonfiction, and then a romance, and maybe a sci-fi fantasy. So that's what I'm going to do, but I am going to include at least one nonfiction. So let's do the nonfiction first. I recently went through these because I had some resource books in here, and I realized I'm not going to sit down and just read those. There's going to be books that I actually want to take my time reading. If I do end up reading them, they're just good to have. So, do I have this up here? We are going to start off with Virginia Woolf, a biography, which I can sit down and read a biography. That's fine. It's the resource books that I have an issue with. Is it up here? It is. I'm really short, so I can't reach. So I'm gonna get my handy dandy stool, and you're gonna watch me struggle for a minute because I hope you enjoyed that. So this is Virginia Woolf, a biography by Quentin Bell. It's got a lot in it, but it does go through her life. And so I'm excited for reading this. I've only read a handful of her books, I think. But, so our first, maybe not our first read, but one of our reads for this week will be Virginia Woolf, a biography. So let's put that right there. All right, so now we're going to choose our little romance. As you can see, I've got plenty of them. Let's do this one and hope that it's not a... I love that this is happening right now. We have Love Unwritten, which I got in the last video, which I realized that I didn't put Love Redesigned on there, so I read Love Redesigned, and now we have Love Unwritten. I'm so excited. This is going to be a single dad romance, and I am for it. Yes. So there's book 2, Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. Once I finish this, I'll be caught up. I think, because I don't think a 3rd book has been released yet. But then I can potentially get into our F1 series. So, fingers crossed. All right. And our last book is going to be a fantasy. And I think that is green. Let's do this one, just because it was right there. Okay, Son of a Witch. Okay, so this is the next book in the Wizard of Oz Wicked retelling. So we have Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. I love this. I love this. Oh, it's got a little cutout. Oh, fun. Okay, so this will be my next read. Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. So, books that we have gotten, I hate that they're not the same size, that's the only issue with this, is Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire, which is a fantasy pool. Then we have our romance pool, which is Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. And then we have our nonfiction pool, which is Virginia Woolf, a biography. So I probably won't finish these all in a week. I'm going to give myself 2 weeks to finish these because the first two, very chunky. This one, I know is going to have a lot in it because it took me a minute to get through Wicked. So, let's see. And the writing is relatively small. How many pages? Has 320 pages. So it shouldn't be too bad. But because it's not something that I'm like immediately interested in, it might be a struggle. But we're going to try. So I don't know what I'm going to start with. It's either going to be Son of a Witch or Love Unwritten. So my knee just popped and that hurt really bad. Okay. I'm going to go to bed because I have to go to work in the morning. But you will know when I know what book I'm reading. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. This week has been a week. I've been dealing with this. It's also been a crazy hectic week at work. We have state testing coming up in a few weeks, and so it's crunch time. It honestly might be my candle. It's exacerbating things. My tattoo is healing nicely. It's peeling just a little bit, but most of the peeling is done. It's so pretty. However, I have not had a lot of time to read. By the time I get home from work, I have been exhausted. Like, I don't want to look at anything. I'm straight to bed. Lights are off. I've got a stupid video that I don't need to watch or listen to or pay attention to. It's just background noise. So that way I can just fall asleep. Tuesday night, I slept. Nope. Wednesday night, I slept for 12 hours. It was fantastic. Because I'm pretty sure I came on and told you all that I was going to finish Son of a Witch on Tuesday. I finished it tonight. I finished it before the baseball game that I was working, and I enjoyed it. I did give this a 3.5 just because it wasn't like, I didn't really gel with it very much, and like some of the topics I talked about wasn't my jam. I don't know. It was a good continuation of the Wicked story. So this follows Lear, who is rumored to be Elphaba's son, and this follows his life after Elphaba is met with Dorothy. So this continues on his life. He starts off at 14. It does kind of go back and forth because they find him at the beginning of the book. I can say this because it's at the beginning of the book. They find him kind of like left abandoned and nearly dead. So they bring him back to the Mont that he first met Elphaba and left with her. Back at the same place. They know who he is, but nobody knows if he is in fact Elphaba's son. He's not green, he doesn't look like her, so why would he be, like, why should it be obvious? And she didn't know all that, and he doesn't know his parentage. So he's going on this whole journey, trying to find people, trying to like discover himself. And it is very lovely the way that it talks about him discovering his true self through actions, because he doesn't really believe in himself. He's like, oh, I'm not as powerful as Elphaba. I could never be. But then he's doing all these really powerful things and like leads revolutions and unknowingly. I don't think he realizes that he's like leading this revolution, but he's leading it. It's insane. So this was enjoyable. It was just some bits and bobs I was just not gelling with. So I gave it a 3.5. Realistically, I am going to keep it because I enjoyed it. And I think that having the entire series. As weird, like, as stupid as it is, like, I love having a complete series on my shelves. So if I get to the point where I finish the last two books that I have, um, it may be something that I end up getting rid of one day. But for now, this is something that I'm going to keep. So we have Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. This is the second book following, or this is the book following Wicked. So it was very enjoyable, and I'm glad I got to pick it up. So I think now, this weekend, I just want to do nothing. I have a lot of things to do, a lot of things to plan and whatnot, and baseball games for my nephew and all that jazz. So I do have Love Unwritten on my Kindle. So I think I'm going to read this whilst I am like at baseball games, doing a little shopping, whatever. I do need to get my friend Angie her birthday present. I don't know what to get her yet. I don't know what to get her yet, but it'll be something book related for sure. Because her birthday is on Sunday. It'll have already passed by the time you see this. But I am going to pick up Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, which follows Raphael and Ellie. This is a single dad romance. He has single dad and nanny, I believe. They're mentioned in the first book, Love Redesigned, and I really enjoyed this. It was really cute. So I'm going to pick this up, read this. While I'm at home, I'm going to start at least reading Virginia Woolf, a Biography by Quentin Bell. At least get through, I don't know, how big is volume 1? That's the question here. There are pictures. Ooh, an appendix. Is this part 2? All right, we have part 2. Okay, so I feel like this weekend I could probably read the first part of this this biography. It is 216 pages, so that'll be interesting. Oh, sorry. But at least through volume 1, and then like finishing off the week, I'll finish this whilst I finish probably my last 2 books of my TBR. But I am going to go to bed because it is after 11 o'clock. But I need to get this downloaded onto my Kindle. But I know it's on Kindle Unlimited, so it'll make it seem less a lot, you know? Okay, I'll check in with y'all later. Hopefully. Bye. New angle. Looks insane. I don't know what's going on if you can hear. It sounds like fireworks outside. I don't know. I live near the racetracks for the like horse racing and things like that, so there's no telling. But I'm at 53% of Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. I am loving it. It's already kind of making me cry because of everything that they're having to go through. This again is a single dad nanny romance. They grew up in the same town. As I peel off the sticker. Oh no! They grew up in the same town of Lake Wisteria, where this is all set, where this series is taking place. And I almost just said Noah. I just finished reading book 1 for F1 series. No, Raphael is the billionaire of the situation. He is a single father to I literally just saw his name. Why? Why do I forget this stuff? Nico, or Nicholas. I had to look through the book to find the name, and I didn't even find the name, but like that's what it took to get me there. So, she is the nanny to Nicholas, or Nico. Nico is what he goes by. His name is Nicholas. His father is a very successful real estate tech guy. Like him and Julian from Love Redesigned made this app. It kind of just like blew up, brought them into the limelight, and Raphael is still dealing with the aftermath of his divorce. It's been like 2 years, but he's still dealing with it because his ex-wife is a piece of work, who is very money hungry and like just wants the money, does not even care about Nico, which is so devastating. Nico has he has a medical condition that causes him to lose his eyesight. So right now it's like, he said the way that they described it is like he looks like he's looking through binoculars, but like backwards. So like it's pinpoints, almost like a tunnel vision. And he has also color issues. So like he mixes up colors, not like a colorblind kind of thing, but like similar colors. So like oranges and yellows, pinks and reds, blues and greens. Like they're starting to kind of like mix or blend or like look the same to him. So they're dealing with all that. This follows again Raphael as he is kind of dealing with this because he very much like shuts himself off and like doesn't want help, doesn't want people to know that he is feeling bad. But Nico knows, and he then goes and like doesn't want to tell his dad when his vision starts getting worse. He doesn't want his dad to know that like things aren't good because he doesn't want his dad to feel sad, which is like heartbreaking in and of its own because like, why is an 8-year-old having like, why does he's just so sweet. He's just so sweet that he just like, ugh, my heart, it hurts. I don't know. But Ellie has been his nanny for the past like 8 months, and some things come up. She gets let go, like rash decisions, like understandable because Raphael is upset by the fact that like she knew stuff about Nico and didn't tell him, even though like in a sense like it was for the benefit of Nico because he was going to tell. So I mean it's only like a week that she is like fired, but she comes back. They go on this vacation that was already planned, and that's where we are now, is like they're halfway through their vacation, and there are emotions there, but there are emotions that can't be spoken out loud because they don't want things to get like messy. She has been dealing with stuff for the past year, like the 8 months or since she came back to Lake Wisteria, because she left to go to LA for like music. She comes back because of unfortunate events and awful friends, and she's just now finally, after a year, starting to write again. Like her passion was writing music, and it's, you know, she's finally like after a year like got the confidence to do it again. Right now things are kind of like shaking up with that aspect of her music writing, and I don't know, it's so precious. I'm loving it. Right now they're in Hawaii. Again, we're at the 50% mark where things like normally like pick up. But I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow burn or like a wait kind of thing. I am reading it on my Kindle just because I don't want to carry this hefty book, and I'm also laying down and reading, so you know. But I did want to come in and like kind of talk about it for a little bit. I'm loving it. Nico is my favorite. We get glimpses of the past couples, Dahlia and Julian, and brief, you know, we get hints at some potential new couples that are coming, because I know there's going to be another book, I believe. Looking at Goodreads, it was showing another Lake Wisteria book, or Lakefront Billionaires, and I'm hoping, like, I know who the billionaire is going to be because it's a small town. Like, there's only so many billionaires in this small town, so I have a feeling I know who it's going to be about. I'm excited for it to be released. I am, again, I ordered her F1 series because she's an auto-buy author. I did listen to the first book, Throttled, when I was looking for an audiobook for this because I was going to be driving all day yesterday. And so I listened to Throttled, like, finished it before the end of the day. Loved it. Loved it so much. So I am going to continue reading this. I hope I can finish before I go to bed because it's only taken me a few hours to get to this point, but it is like 7:30, and again, I'm halfway. So I'm hoping, I love the media aspect to it. So like the text messages and things like that, but also I love the artwork above. Like all of her books that I've had so far have like had some sort of art, like, so each person had a different piece of art. So Raphael's it looks like postcards, and then Ellie's is like music, things like that, like not like music paper, like sheet music, but like music of her, or her lyric paper kind of thing, you know, if that makes sense. But I am gonna get back to reading this. I just wanted to come in and check in with y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. I finished. It is like 11:30-ish at night, and I have finished Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This deals with so much, not just the romance, the smut, whatever, doesn't even start until like 70-80% into the book. And I was okay with that. Sometimes I really love the formulaic writing of a romance where it's like 50% things start happening. 50% things started happening, but like the spice and like the relations of sorts didn't start happening really until 70-80% into this book. And it was so worth the wait. Raphael and Ellie. I didn't want to stop reading. I'm exhausted. Again, it's 11 o'clock. No, it's like after 11:30, and I have work in the morning, and it was just precious. It deals with grief, not necessarily of death, but of the loss of something that's important to you. And that's, I think, what got me the most. I keep looking at myself. No. Okay, so, no, but it dealt with a, like, loss of, like, your true self, or, like, having to hide your emotions, things like that, when obviously you shouldn't. And that is a very big thing in here that, you know, they both learn, they both figure out about themselves that they need to work on and continue to work on. And they help each other. It's through each other that they're able to do the things that they do and to learn the things that they learn. It's just, it was so sweet. And Nico, ugh, my heart, precious baby. I hate that he's going through the things that he's going through, but he has such a loving family. He has such a community. My heart just breaks that he's gonna have to continue going through this, but I know that he has the best support system. I know he's a fictional character, but it makes me want to cry. This was a 5-star. Okay, I didn't say this earlier, but it was a 5-star. I love this. I can't get over it. I'm obsessed. I do want to cry now, but it's fine. It's okay. This is why she's an auto-buy author for me. I just don't know what it is. I started with her Dreamland Billionaire series. I'm now caught up officially on the Lakefront Billionaires. I'm impatiently waiting for the release of book 3, which I know who the couple is going to be, and I'm excited. Did she say anything? Does she say anything? Aha. Okay. So I can say that because it's a billionaire, because we're following the billionaires, because this is the Lakefront Billionaire series. The billionaire that we are following is Lorenzo, who Julian and Raphael don't really like. The town doesn't really all like that much, but it comes out this year, 2025. I'm excited. I hope it comes out sooner rather than later. But the cover's not even released yet. I have to do a deep dive on her website because right now it's showing like no cover, no release date. All it says is releasing in 2025. So I'm hoping it's not like December. But also, they do mention strawberries and whatnot in here, which I feel like was just perfect with my nails. But I am going to go to bed because I've started to get that exhaustion is kicking in. I'm tired and I've got a very long week of work, but I do still have the Virginia Woolf autobiography that I will be reading. Hopefully I can finish it this week. I do have a few like mood reads that I think I'm gonna do in between. I did end up purchasing Lauren Asher's F1 series. Again, I already mentioned that I read book 1, Throttled, and I am probably gonna pick up the next book. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. But I do also still have 2 books left on my TBR for the month of March. I have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager and The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore, which is what the nails were inspired by. Again, I just can't stop showing them off. They're just so precious. I love them. Hilda, you're amazing. So I still have those 2 books I'll probably read. I'm going to try to finish those because it is almost April. But I do want to just sit and just read the entire F1 series in one sitting. Interesting. I wish I thought about that before because that could have been a video. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good morning. I look a mess, I feel a mess, but I'm here to finish this video because I'm lazy. So TBR jar part 2. I picked 3 books that I would not. I picked colors that I wouldn't normally, plus a romance because duh. So we got a nonfiction Virginia Woolf biography written by Quentin Bell. We have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, which is the most updated part of her Dreamland, Lakefront Billionaire series. And then we have Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. This is the 2nd book in the Wicked world. I don't know if it's a series. I guess it is because there's more than 3 books. But this is book 2. This follows her son. Okay, so let's discuss because I did stuff. Okay, so we know I read Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite. I did give it, I think, a 3.5 or a 3. It just didn't grab my attention as much as the other books did. This isn't a genre that I typically will read. Like I'll read like fantasy, but it's like high fantasy, maybe a little bit of romance in it, that kind of vibe. But I did enjoy it. I will probably continue reading it. I'm going to keep this book because I do have the complete set of the other of all 4 books. So I do want to keep them at least until I finish the series. If I feel like I'm never going to read it again, then I'll talk about getting rid of it. But for now, we're going to keep it. Second book that I read was Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is book 2 of the Lakefront Billionaire series. I think it's just going to be 3 books, because I know there's going to be a 3rd book, but there's only so many billionaires to go around, you know? But this follows Raphael and Ellie. Raphael is a single dad. Ellie is the nanny. They're kind of like standoffish in their like work relationship. He's a grump. She's kind of a grump, but trying to be sunshine, if that makes sense. They've both gone through some crap, and so I think I gave this one, though, I gave it a 4, because although it was cute, there was just some miscommunication that I just wasn't a fan of. Like, I understand that that's gonna be part of, like, they're not gonna tell each other all their secrets or whatever, but like, they really let it get to them real easy if they don't like know things. So it's whatever. So I did really enjoy this. I am really looking forward to the Lakefront Billionaire series. This prompted me to pick up the Dirty Air series, her F1 Formula racing. And I'm loving that so far. I'm on book 3 already out of 4, and I've only been reading it for like 2 weeks, along with other books, you know? But Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, I am keeping this because I liked it a lot, and I'm excited for book 3. And Lauren is an auto-buy author for me. And then we have Virginia Woolf, a biography. I got 10 pages into this book. It just wasn't for me. I'm not in a place that I want to sit down and read a nonfiction. I am still interested in Virginia Woolf's life. If I don't read this over the summer, I will get rid of it. But I'm going to keep it for now because I want to read it. So this is a soft DNF. Again, I only got to page 10. But it's testing season at work, and we have 9 weeks left of the school year. So we're just trucking, and I don't have time to sit down and like absorb a nonfiction text. So this one, I am keeping it again through the summer. I am documenting it here. If I don't read this by the end of summer, by August, get rid of it. Okay? Okay? Someone remind me, because I'll forget, even if I have a video proof of it. So, because this is a series of like kind of reading it or unhauling it, I did want to talk about some books that I am going to be unhauling, because the goal is to get my shelf to be books that I love. I want to read. I want to keep reading. I want to recommend to other people. Like, it's not books that are like, it was all right. I don't really need it. So I'm going to go over some books. I do have just an Amazon box that I am filling up. As soon as it's full, it'll go to the library. So to start off, I am really sorry for the audio. I am getting rid of all of my Dean Koontz books. We have The Bad Place, Cold Fire, and The Voice of the Night. I was reading through the synopses of these and just was not interested. What is this? Oh, hey, pizza. That's hilarious. I love that. I'm just not in a place that I want to read Dean Koontz. I started reading The Bad Place. Didn't care. And if I really want to, I can find the audios. So I'm getting rid of these 3 books. And then from my March TBR, I am getting rid of The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I gave this, I think, a 3.5, but it's nothing that I'm ever going to pick up again. The plot twist was plot twisting. Like, it was great. But it's just not something that I'm going to pick up again. So for that, I'm going to say goodbye. And then what hurts my heart a little bit are classics that I'm going to be getting rid of. I read these last year with a buddy read. We read a classic a month. And there were just some that I just was not interested in. And then I'm like, I don't feel like I need to have on my shelf. So we have My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. Okay. I enjoyed it, but like, I'm not going to read it again. Then we have The Enchanted April. It was really cute. But again, never going to read it again. And then the book that I'm kind of sad I'm getting rid of, but I know I'm not going to read it again, is Emily of Deep Valley, by Maud Hart Lovelace. I enjoyed it. Again, I'm never going to pick it up. I'm not going to like go and recommend it. It's just not a book that I'm going to want to keep on my shelf. So for that, I am going to get rid of these 3. So those are the 3 books that I have right now that I will be getting rid of. Again, as I like go throughout this journey of reading my physical TBR, I will be plug this back in so it doesn't damage anything. Perfect. Again, once that box is full, it's going to go to the library. I don't need it. It can go to some place that will utilize them. So for that, I am done for part 2. Again, this is going to be a softie enough. I'm going to pick this up at a later date, but for now, no. But I have to go to work. I'm running late. So I will see y'all next time. Let me know. Maybe you'll see this before. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But it's April. It's spring. Spring has sprung. We're here. So I will check in with y'all later. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful life. And let me know if there's anything that you want to see. And I look forward to seeing y'all again very soon.